Hello and welcome to Ontv News. I'm your host, Jessi Agnew. The true nature of Lake Orion broke through the morning clouds to make way for a concert for Elena. In Wildwood Park, several community members organized a string of musicians and vendors to honor and benefit Lake Orion's warrior princess. Elena Zalek was diagnosed with leukemia in July of 2013 and due to some complications during treatment was left in dire health condition. A friend of Elena felt obligated to help, and did she ever. The benefit concert raised over $30,000 for little Elena and her family. If you weren't able to make it out and would still like to donate, you can visit www.ucaring.com and search Fight for Elena. A concert for Elena will be played on Saturdays at 10:30 p.m. and Sundays at 12 a.m. for the coming weeks. In the Lake Orion community, when it comes to helping others, there's no shortage of support. Recently, an event took place at Lake Orion High School that brought people together whose lives have been touched by breast cancer. ONTV's Kayla Brandon brings us this story.
Runners and walkers of all ages gathered at Lake Orion High School on Saturday, September 21st, to raise money for local families affected by breast cancer. It was the third year for A Mother's Wish 5K and 10K race and the most successful race to date. Over 500 participants ran, walked, and even crunched their way across the finish line. We spoke with volunteer and breast cancer survivor Joyce Falls about what it's like to see the event unfold.
It's a very exciting feeling. It brings back a lot of memories myself. I want everybody to have a success story like myself, and it's so encouraging. I'm very discouraged to see so many being diagnosed, but at the same point, it's very encouraging that we are getting to have a lot of survivors.
While the race benefited a great cause, it was still a competition after all. And what would a competition be without awards? Trophies were awarded to the fastest overall male and female competitors, top 3 finishers in each age group, and the largest group at the event. ONTV caught up with Claire McCarthy, whose group Team McCarthy honored her mother, who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. What kind of emotions are coming up for you as seeing your mom, cross that finish line?
It's really good. It just sees her, it's good to see her healthy, or as healthy as she can be right now, and pushing herself to be happy and fight like a girl, fight hard.
It's people like Claire that the charity was created for. A Mother's Wish has assisted countless local families with medical bills, mortgages, car payments, and other expenses burdening families affected by the disease. Lake Orion resident Don Luby founded the charity race in 2011 in honor of his wife, Kathy, a school teacher and mother of 5 who lost her battle to breast cancer in 2008. And you mentioned your wife. What do you think she would say about the event and how it's grown over the past couple years?
She's smiling down. I know she's happy. We've got all of her close friends involved, people that didn't know her involved, and she sees what we're doing with the other people, and we're really the extension of this Lake Orion community, and that's what her idea was. So I know she's happy.
Reporting in Lake Orion, I'm Kayla Brandon for ONTV News.
Thanks, Kayla. Over the past several years, Dave Sherman, owner of Diamond Dave's Jewelers in Lake Orion, has offered space in his building to the Orion Art Center, usually for its temporary holiday market. But now the Art Center has taken up permanent residence in the building, officially opening what it calls the studio. On Wednesday, September 25th, Lake Orion's art community gathered at the Diamond Dave building on M24 for an opening reception. Dave Sherman donated 2 floors of the space so that the Art Center can offer pottery and painting classes throughout the year.
The space upstairs is designated for use as a pottery studio. So people can take classes, kids, teens, adults. People can custom make classes if they want and come with the group and make whatever they want, coffee cups or tiles or whatever they want. So the space upstairs is designated as a pottery studio, and we'll be offering pottery classes up there. And the space downstairs, right now we offer the space downstairs on Monday nights. There are live model portraiture painting sessions, and that's for 3 hours every Monday night. So it's filled up with artists and their easels, and they're painting from live models. And then there are also painting and drawing classes, and soon we hope to add other classes, mosaic classes, and all different mediums.
During the opening reception, visitors were invited to create tiles made of clay. They were able to press plants into the clay or use various tools to create patterns. Once the clay dries, Art Center staff will later fire it in a kiln to create a work of art its creator can hang on the wall. The ability to offer pottery classes is something new to the Art Center and made possible by generous donations.
Dave from Diamond Dave's has given the Art Center this building to use, and as long as he gives it to us, we're on our way. It started with someone donating a kiln and me being around who wanted to pick up on that, and we created all this with donations and a little bit of money from the Art Center, not much, mostly donations. And we have one wheel now that I donated here, and so we'd like to have many more wheels so we can do wheel classing, throwing on the wheel. Right now it's all hand building.
This space means so much to the Art Center. Our house is a century-old house, and it's a small space, and we do a lot out of that little space. We do a lot in the community, and but having this wonderful big space just opens up so many possibilities for us as far as classes, as far as exhibits, and possibly a gallery store. There are so many possibilities here, so it's great.
The Orion Art Center will once again host its 13th annual holiday market at the Diamond Dave location. However, this year it will only take place over 12 days in December. For more information, call the Orion Art Center at 248-693-4986 or visit their website at orionartcenter.org. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have a report from Joe Johnson on the annual Galling Buick GMC Classic Car Show. You are watching ONTV News. Stay tuned.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I pay for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
Welcome back to ONTV News. I'm Jessi Agnew. The arrival of fall means the classic car show season begins to wind down, but before the cars could be put away for the winter, Galling Buick GMC hosted one last major car show to benefit a worthy cause. ONTV's Joe Johnson was at the event and brings us this story.
On Saturday, September 21st, Galling Buick GMC hosted a classic car show to benefit Love Inc., a nonprofit organization that links local churches, volunteers, and service agencies to help those in need. More than 300 classic cars were on display throughout the grounds of the dealership, while several thousand car enthusiasts stopped by throughout the day.
We do 4 of these shows every summer. This is the culmination of the 4, and for 7 straight years, this has been a pretty big show. And when the weather cooperates, we really get some great attendance. And today, weather considered, we've done very well. The show benefits Love Inc., and it's a free show for the cruisers, and all the entertainment and all the things that you see going on out here today is all free. And then Love Inc. Raises some money through some sponsorships and nice contributions in the community. And so it's a way for us to kind of help them and give back to the community. And it's a fun event.
In addition to the stunning display of cars, visitors also enjoyed entertainment, food, and other activities. The show was free to visitors and car owners. However, many of them offered donations to benefit Love Inc.'s efforts. Funds were also raised through several 50-50 raffles held throughout the day, as well as sponsorships from area businesses. Love Inc. Executive Director Sandy Weaver told us she hopes this car show will be an annual event.
I just really would like to give my heartfelt thanks to Galling. They have really gone above and beyond to help Love Inc., Love in the Name of Christ. and we really appreciate it. All of their people that have kicked in and helped, all of the volunteers that have come forth today. It's just been unbelievable.
Found among the hundreds of cars on display was a unique collection of Pontiac Can-Ams. Produced during a 6.5-month period in 1977, only 1,377 cars were produced during that time period, all in cameo white with distinctive orange, red, and yellow graphics.
Well, the Can-Am was a one-year marketing exercise for Pontiac. It was one of the first two-sticker cars where the main mechanical components were built at the Pontiac assembly plant, and then an aftermarket company did the alteration. They put the stripes on the spoiler, punched a hole in the hood to install the shaker hood scoop, and then they were shipped back to Pontiac and went through the normal distribution process. It was a marketing attempt to generate some excitement in the Le Mans lineup, which sales have been flagging quite a bit since it came out in '73 with that body style. And to the Pontiac enthusiasts, a lot of us consider it really the last mid-sized muscle car, being a mid-sized car with a 400 cubic inch V8 that was produced at the home Pontiac plant, which has now since been destroyed.
What drew you to these cars? What made you want to have one in your personal collection?
Well, I was 17 when it came out. I saw it at the Detroit Auto Show before it was the North America International Auto Show. I always had a soft spot in my heart for a 73 to 75 Grand Am, which was on the same body style as this, and I always liked the looks of it. And from the time I saw it to the time I bought mine, I'd only seen 4 of them.
If you would like to get involved with the efforts of Love Inc. or know of someone in need, give them a call at 248-693-HELP or visit their website at loveincofnoc.org. In Orion Township, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe. The Orion Township Public Library is known for much more than just books. They also hold many special events throughout the year, none more special than their recent presentation, 4 Days at the Pentagon. ONTV's Chris Arita was there and brings us this story.
At the Orion Township Library on September 23rd, a very special person came to speak not about parenting or drugs and alcohol use, but to enlighten others on his own personal experiences during the darkest moment in America's history, September 11th, 2001. This is Dan Pantaleo, a retired United States Marine Corps major, of whom was a responder to the Pentagon, and speaks not only on the day's events, but tries to better the lives of others based on his perseverance when his country needed him the most.
I learned how to be a leader during a crisis, but also took away it's really good to be a patriot. And, you know, even when you're down like he was, and, you know, finding a boost from the smallest places or even the biggest places. And it was definitely impactful to myself as a student and as a patriot.
I'm the head of the Adult Services Department. We try to provide educational and interesting events for the public, things that people would like to come to, and we also really like authors. We're a library, so he was a combination of an interesting subject and he had written a book about it. Our director had seen him. He had spoken at a chamber meeting, I believe, and she had seen his presentation, so she recommended that we contact him, so I did.
I want him to walk away with a better understanding and appreciation for what Patriots Day really is and what it's all about. And then I also want him to walk away with a call for action. Invest in their mental, moral, and physical DNA, their leadership DNA, that thing that comes to the surface in crisis situations or in situations where you're forced to make difficult decisions. That core of who you are will come to the surface and manifest itself in your actions. And so I encourage people to take steps, and I lay out a lot of various steps in keynote speeches and seminars, to take those actions to improve upon themselves in their mental, moral, and physical makeup on a daily basis. I published my book, 4 Days at the Pentagon, about 2 years ago, and based on publishing it, it became a venue for people wanting me to come in and talk about the book, do book signings, and then it grew into essentially a speaking business, and I've traveled now all throughout the United States, speaking to a variety of different audiences, some corporate outings, universities and colleges, and all kinds of groups. So it gives me an opportunity to share that message with them and to instill in them a sense of accountability for themselves, their actions, and that investment in their mental, moral, and physical DNA. It's something I feel compelled to do. I enjoy doing it. It brings satisfaction to me, and I know I've been helping people.
Reporting for ONTV News, I'm Christopher Arita.
Thanks, Chris. For more information on upcoming events at the library, make sure and tune in to their new monthly program, Orion at Your Library, right here on ONTV. Visit orionontv.org and check out their website's program guide for air times. It's now time for our weekly sports roundup. The boys varsity soccer team was in action on Thursday, September 26th against the Yellow Jackets of Avondale. Entering the match, the Dragons had been struggling and were still looking for their first divisional win. Avondale hadn't fared much better, sitting at 2-3-2 in the OAA White. The Dragons got off to a quick start, tallying a goal just 12 minutes into the competition. Riley McGivern put one past the keeper off a through ball from Jason Inglis. Lake Orion controlled the ball the entire first half, but couldn't put another one in the net. Avondale thought they tied it up with 22 minutes left in the first half, but the goal was called off due to a penalty in the box. Lake Orion took a 1-0 lead into halftime. The Yellow Jackets started the second half looking like a brand new team. They controlled the ball and put constant pressure on the Lake Orion defense. Avondale's Arner Huatla made the Dragons defenseman look silly with his skillful ball handling. Although Avondale came out strong in the second half, Lake Orion weathered the storm and was able to keep the Yellow Jackets off the board. The Dragons got their first victory in the OAA White and improved their divisional record to 1-4-3. Avondale falls to 2-4-2. Despite the loss, Avondale's goalkeeper Ben Richter played a great game, stopping 4 of 5 shots from the Dragons. Lake Orion's lone goal scorer was Riley McGivern. You can catch this game in its entirety right here on ONTV. Head on over to orionontv.org and check out our program guide. You can also watch this game on demand on our YouTube channel. That wraps up our weekly sports roundup. Make sure and tune in next week when we bring you highlights from the 2nd annual Gridiron Classic at Ford Field. That's it for this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Jessi Agnew. Thanks for watching.